Good morning, sweet people, and welcome back to the channel, or if it's your first time here, welcome especially. I'm Sally, and I'm so glad you stopped by. It's 5 a.m. as we are starting this video for a productive pro-metabolic morning routine. I have been meaning to film one. We just moved into our new place for the next couple months, and so I thought it was the perfect opportunity. But first thing I do is sync my temp drop, my wearable basal body thermometer. That's linked below. You can get 10% off if you're interested. And then I'm brushing my teeth. I like to do this first thing, of course, yawning because I'm tired. I like to do this first thing because otherwise I will forget, or like if I eat something first, that also makes me forget because then my teeth don't feel like they need to be brushed quite as badly. So do that. It also helps wake me up. And then just throwing on a shirt, and we'll head into the kitchen here in just a second. So first thing I like to do when I get into the kitchen is drink a big glass of water. I try to be really disciplined about this. Early in the morning is really the time at which we most need straight water, because overnight we get dehydrated, our blood literally thickens. And when it's thick, it's not the proper viscosity to appropriately deliver nutrients to where they're needed in the body, and those electrical signals. So it's important to drink water. It will also make you feel a lot more awake, but that's kind of the reason behind it. My husband actually taught me that. I was like, yeah, we need to drink water. It's important. But he was explaining the mechanism behind it, and it makes a lot of sense. I went ahead and started the coffee pot, which I preloaded the night before. Anything that reduces friction, we'll say, in the morning is really helpful. Just like can walk in, easy to go. Filled up a pot with water, and we're putting that on the stove for breakfast. I'm gonna make some grits this morning. So I always try to eat breakfast first thing when I wake up, within about 30 minutes to 1 hour at the latest. And I did start the coffee, but I also am very disciplined about at least waiting until breakfast to have coffee, ideally waiting until after breakfast to have coffee, because coffee is a metabolic stimulant and it increases, of course, your metabolic rate. If you don't have anything to digest in your belly when you have coffee, cortisol levels tend to go a little bit crazy. So anyways, that's my little spiel on that. But I have some focaccia here that I am putting into the refrigerator. It proofed overnight, so I'll make that later this day. But I have water boiling. As you can see, I am frying up a couple eggs, and I'm making this grit bowl. But I found these hominy grits, ordered like a 5-pound bag online. Hominy grits, if they're true hominy grits, have been, I'm gonna butcher the word, nixtamalized. I think that's the right word. They're treated with lime or an alkaline solution. It's like masa, the ancient Mayan way of treating corn such that it's actually digestible, because otherwise we really can only digest like the sugars in corn, and it can actually deplete other nutrients. So eggs going, grits going. I'm grating some Parmesan cheese. Love Parmesan cheese, or any type of cheese on my grit bowls. The necessary ingredients are just grits, eggs, and cheese. But then if you have like bonuses like mushrooms or turkey bacon or regular bacon or crispy veggie like kale or something, so good. Poured my coffee, getting that ready, and you can see adding a little bit of cream. That's generally how I like it these days, just like coffee and cream. Gonna sit down, eat my breakfast, look at my coffee, maybe take a few sips, but again, I'm gonna eat the vast majority of my breakfast at least before I really go hard with the coffee, so to say. Okay, so after breakfast, or sometimes with breakfast, but I'm trying to be better about like really just sitting down and eating for the sake of my digestion, focusing on one thing at a time. But after breakfast, I'm heading over to the living room, where I'm going to have my morning kind of reading time, and I'll explain shortly why I'm waking up this early. But I start every morning. Okay, I'm not perfect about it, but I do my very best to start every morning in the Bible. I am reading right now from 2 Samuel and from Acts, and then I will eventually switch to reading a fun book. The book I'm reading now, you'll see in a second, it's just called The Strays. It's like about art in Melbourne. Don't remember what time period, but interesting book, fun little library find. So waking up at this time is not something I really thought I would be doing again, but I am kind of working on a lot of projects right now, trying to get my ebook finished, trying to stay consistent with YouTube videos, getting ready for the official launch of my nutrition business. And with other things going on, I just need some specific time dedicated to especially writing tasks. And I find that my brain works best when it comes to like writing specifically early in the morning. And so I decided I would try waking up at 5 this week. And I think I'm gonna stick with it because weirdly enough, I feel better waking up at 5 than I feel waking up at 6. And I think it is a like a sleep cycle thing. So anyways, that's what we're doing. I kind of go back and forth. Like it's nice to sleep until the sun rises, but then I feel funny a lot of times. I don't know. I just like to wake up and get some stuff done before the sun and quietly and peacefully. So as you can see now, I've pulled out my computer after I've done that dedicated morning time, and I am just working today on a project that I have for school, trying to get that finished up. The sun rose as I was working on it, moved to a table where I could stand up. And I just spent 2 hours on it. Set a timer, 2 hours. Sun is rising by the time I'm finished, and that's perfect because pretty much as soon as the sun rises, I like to try and go outside. But first, I am taking my magnesium. I forgot to take this with breakfast. It really is best taken with food for optimal absorption and to avoid tummy upset. These particular pills, you have to take 4 of them, and I'm very proud of myself for swallowing them all in one go because they're a little sticky, but this magnesium is linked in my storefront and then down below, and the Whole Foods magnesium glycinate is also really great. Always look for magnesium glycinate. So again, getting ready to go outside, but I wanted to throw my hair up and wash my face. I know a lot of people kind of in this space like don't wash their face in the morning, and that's great, go them, but like I don't know, it drives me crazy. I like to have the feeling of a clean, cool, refreshed face, freshly moisturized, to feel awake. It's just a thing. So that's what we're doing. Of course, I love Noel Covery's like Forever Healthy LLC Clear Cleanser, which is completely PUFA free. It has like pearl powder in it. And then I have Tallow Balm. The Tubes & Co Tallow Balm is linked below. I have a discount code for you for that as well. But I've also started making my own, which has been amazing. Putting on some deodorant. It's like the crystal deodorant, which has been working pretty well for me. And then at this point, just to be clear, it's like 8:30. And sun has pretty much just risen because I think it's really important to go expose yourself to sunlight pretty much as soon as the sun rises. So I'm putting on my socks and my shoes. And I will just say too, like even as I'm working early in the morning, I have a warm filter on my laptop. So I'm not exposing myself to a ton of blue light at that point. Trying to more kind of honor my circadian rhythm by working with the sunlight. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so we are all ready to go. What I'm loving about Boise at this time of year is it's like 50 degrees in the morning, and then it gets warmer, probably to like 85 later in the day, but the mornings are just blissful. So we are headed out, and I'm headed over to my bike. I will alternate going on a little jog, going on a walk, or going on a bike ride. But most days I am trying to do something outside. Some days it's a little bit more intense. Of course, in those cases, I'm always fueling my body properly. And some days it's just a fun, leisurely bike ride or walk. Okay, so we are back, and I always need a morning snack. Really, I'm like a 2 breakfast kind of girl. For the time being, I am just having a cup of raw milk, which really is like the perfect tide you over, perfect snack. Based on kind of the breakdown of nutrients. Of course, it's grass-fed, super nutrient dense, and delicious. And as I am having my milk, after I collect myself, I'll just start to kind of clean up breakfast dishes, tidy up the kitchen, and get ready to move on with the rest of the day. So ultimately, this is the end of the video. I super appreciate you guys being here, and I hope this provides an example of what a balanced, productive, pro-metabolically supportive morning routine can look like. All right,